Hey guys, this is Shauna from Shauna Stitches. It's my first video, so I'm a little nervous, but I wanted to share with you my dress form, which has been sitting in my closet for 2 years. I have regular dress form over here, the dial-a size kind, but in my situation, I'm pretty small up top, and I'm like regular size down bottom. I'm 31 up here, 36 down at my hips. And the regular dress forms only go to like 33 inches at the smallest. So it won't really fit me. Anything I make on it up top turned out too big. So I finally decided to get something different, and I ordered one of these. And it looks kind of scary. It's got torpedo booties. It is a Uniquely You Dressform, and you may have heard of it before. It's made of this super squishy foam. Goes all the way down here. It has a cover that comes with it, which you can fit to your size, and then it will compress, hopefully, to look exactly like you. This is what I've got done so far on it. I kind of got intimidated by this thing, but I'm taking a draping class online now on Craftsy, and so I finally want to get it finished so that I can take this class and learn how to drape. The way that you order this to get this in your correct size is that there are a few different mannequin sizes, and then there are 3 different cover sizes within each dress form size. I wound up getting the petite size mannequin, and I got a size 2 cover. I will show you here. I measured myself and I measured the mannequin, and I see now that I'm gonna have to make some adjustments. Just hold this up here if it will focus. Basically, that's probably not gonna work, but I am a 31, 25, 36. This mannequin is a 36, 27, 34. So I should be good from here up. Again, I'm gonna have to pad out the hips because these hips only go up to 34 inches as is. So I'm gonna have to add some hips. And I know one problem a lot of people have had, especially A/B cups, is that you have to cut off the boobs, and I'm probably gonna have to do that. So I'm expecting there to be a breast reduction going on with this thing later on, but we'll see. Okay, so this is where I'm at right now with the cover. I've gone up to step 4. So first of all, I ripped the stitches on the side seam up to the dart here. You find your waist by doing this, I guess. That's how it illustrates it. You mark your waist all the way across in all of these panels, front and back. It has you do darts in a standard measurement by wherever your waist is marked. You go up 3 inches, down 3 inches, and you make a 1/4 inch dart on all of these panels all the way around. So I did that. I pinned my side seams to fit, and I mean, you can see when you get this thing done, it's going to be like a second skin. It's supposed to be skin tight so that that foam can compress to your size. I was working on the bust darts last night, and these things are pretty weird. It has, you can see this part that goes across. Without the pins here, I mean, you can already tell it's pretty pointy. I mean, it was pretty Madonna looking here. So I had to wrangle with those things, get them pinned down. You pin all the way up to the shoulders. And you're not supposed to do this part yet until you get it sewn, but there was so much fabric gathered lengthwise here that I kind of had to get it out of the way in order to pin the rest of this. So I'm hoping that works out okay. And so now I'm going to take this off. I'm going to transfer my markings from the outside to the inside, turn it right sides together. I'm going to stitch all this together, and I will catch you up with the next step. Okay, so it's been about a week since my last video. I've been working on this off and on every night, and I don't know, I've seen people do it in one day, but I wouldn't want to do it all in one day. I just kind of get frustrated with it after a while and I have to put it down. My husband helped me with a lot of the pinning, and I'm kind of proud of him. He actually did a pretty good job. Usually it's a disaster when I get him to pin things for me, so I'm just going to show you where I'm at. Let me zip it down here. Okay, as you can see, I'm going to need a sway back adjustment, and I was really hoping I wouldn't have to do this part because it means I'm going to have to unpick the zipper and take it in maybe about quarter or half inch. I'm going to have to measure that and see. The rest of it's looking pretty good as far as the front. You can see there. And I'll show you the actual dress form. Had to do a little hack and slash work on it. It's kind of crazy. I had to take the tips of the boobs off as I expected. It would zip up with it like it was, but it was having a really hard time. I had seams that looked like they were about to pop back here, and plus it just made a lot of weird bulges and things. I had to kind of like work them into the right place and everything, and I felt really weird. I've molested this thing quite a bit. And I'm having to pad the bottom out because it's a few inches, I think 2 or 3 inches smaller than my hips. So I've used some polyester batting, and I'm gonna have to work with it a little bit more because it's still not quite right. So that is where I'm at, and hopefully this thing will be done soon. Okay, so still working on the dress form, and I actually could call it done at this point, but it does have a few issues. Thankfully it is looking a lot like me. I've checked the measurements against my own. I used some yarn around my waist, kind of measured up and down, you know, 2 inches down, 4 inches down to kind of check it against me. And it's off a little bit in the high hip, but the rest is really close. And you can even tell, like, I have scoliosis, and so one hip's higher than the other, and my waist is a little uneven, and it's got the same thing on here, so I thought that was pretty cool. One thing is that I had a really difficult time getting this cover on here. It really is a two-person job. I didn't have anyone here to help me because my husband was gone, so I'm just waiting for him to get back so that hopefully I can do a better job getting this thing on here. I'll give you a better view. You can see where there are all these folds, and where it's kind of straining across the waist. It was really hard to pull it down as I was zipping it up. I mean, I was sweating. I am like sore in my muscles today from doing this. I've got blisters on my hands, so I was really fighting this thing, and hopefully I'll get a video of me and him trying to actually put the cover on the mannequin, because I think it's pretty good to see. It's really funny, at least. You'll get some entertainment out of it. And on the back, you can see the zipper's crooked. I mean, this actually looks kind of like my spine, so I don't know if it's replicating what's on my body, but I think it's just a little twisted. So again, I need to get the cover a little more straight on here. If nothing else, these seams on the waist, I'm so scared they're gonna pop. If nothing else, I'm gonna have to use some stabilizer on them, sew that in, because I'm afraid that over time this thing might just rip open. So I don't have a stand for it. I cannot find the stand for this thing. We've moved since I first bought it, so there's no telling where it is. So I'm either going to have to order a new one, or we're going to have to try and figure out how to build one. I'm going to try and call the company. So far I haven't been able to get an answer. Apparently it's just run by one guy somewhere, so we'll see. Okay, so I think I'm actually done now. I'm really excited. It really didn't take much to fix the problem I was having in the waist. I really just had to take some of this batting out. It was going up too high, and it was causing not only, like, you know, the width of my hips here wasn't as much as down here. I didn't really take that into account at first. So once I removed this extra batting here, I just kind of cut it all around, and I leveled it off by taking my scissors sideways to try and gradually, you know, make it smooth out to the rest of the form so I don't get too many lines. You can see a little one right here. I couldn't get rid of that, but It looks pretty smooth all the way around. My husband helped me get it on there. It was a lot easier. Well, he's a lot stronger than I am, but it was a lot easier once I had his help, and once that batting on the bottom was out of the way, it just it zipped up a lot smoother there. So you can see right here where I made my sway back adjustment, and that's looking pretty good. The zipper is still sort of curved here, so I think that's fine. Maybe it's just duplicating the way my body is. I couldn't really get it to be straight, but the center seam in front, it's straight enough. I'm gonna leave it like it is. I'm tired of messing with this thing. The only thing I have left is the arms. I have read others who have done this, and because it is difficult to get clothes on and off of it, these little stubby arms it has are just sort of in the way. If you look at a professional dress form like a wolf dress form or something that's used in a fashion school, they don't usually have this part. So I'm cutting those off, and I'm gonna show you how I'm doing that right now. I have read that an electric knife works a lot better if you want to do this. I'm just using a bread knife. It's serrated and it does it pretty well. I can even it out a little bit more with scissors once I do this. So, let me move this camera down a little bit, and I'll show you what it's like to cut into this foam. It's really not that bad. I'm going to try and get it even with the edge of the dress form cover. Actually, let me get on the other side here. You just want to hold on to it and try not to go too fast. You can get some jagged edges here, but all of that can be cleaned up afterward. Just try and cut through as smoothly as possible all the way down to the bottom of the arm sky. And now when I cut the tips of the breast off, I didn't use this because honestly, I have seen people do it that way before, and it just chops a big chunk of it off, which is really not what you want. The way I did that, I'm going to see if I can demonstrate it here. Not actually cut into it, but I took a pair of scissors and I just sort of went into it like this. Just start cutting, just like you're sort of sculpting something, and try and cut all of this off as evenly as you can. And eventually, you know, you get it pretty rounded and nice. You just don't want it to be just like a stumpy bit of boob that's missing there. It just looks funny, and it does show up a little bit on the cover of the dress form once it's done. So you want to try and smooth things out as much as you can when you're adding batting or if you're cutting things off. And it's pretty easy to do with this foam. Back up. Now, ta-da! I'm going to even this out a little bit more, and I might, like on a professional form, you know, you would have a plate here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. I'm going to try and pretty it up a little bit more. I may actually make a jersey cover to go over this, because this thing just looks a little ugly to me. But for right now, it's done, it's usable. I just need to make a stand for it, which we're already investigating. I think that we can modify the dress form stand that I have so that I can just use both of these dummies on the same stand. And I just need to get a couple little parts for that. So we're gonna check out the hardware store tomorrow and see if I can get that done. For right now, here is my finished Uniquely You. And I don't know if I'm gonna name it. I'm not really into naming things. I don't name my car or anything, so it's a mini me. Thanks for watching. This is Shauna.